We welcome everybody in once more to Network Associates Coliseum in Oakland as the sun is going down. We've got a good evening of football ahead as the Cincinnati Bengals get set to take on the Oakland Raiders. It is AFA action once more here on YouTube on the AFA Network. Cameron Duty coming at you with Omni here in the booth. Omni, it is game 2 of Week 8 this season, quickly coming to a climax. What are your thoughts about this game between these two squads?
Yeah, two squads that have championship aspirations. The Bengals, it's been a really good season for them. And for the Raiders, the champions, it's not been the smoothest season, but it's still very good. And they have that team that's able to compete for another championship here at the AFA. So two teams who are looking to once furthermore kind of sharpen their tools before we head closer into postseason action.
Yeah, and we are really getting close to that too, as you said. And right now, another proving ground for both of these teams. It's amazing how quick this season has went, and really how much some of these teams and players have progressed as we have moved along. We welcome you in. Here's the kickoff, and we will get things underway with the return coming out to the 29-yard line, which is where the Bengals will take over. Led by quarterback number 6, Eric Alexander. Having a very good season this year.
First and 10, Cincinnati.
He's got his usual suspects in the backfield with him. First and 10 for Alexander as he sets up under center. Signals for motion, and the give is to Arnold Simpson running right side with good blocking and picks up 8.
Number 34,
Yeah, and we talked about the running game for Cincinnati. The Cincinnati team has so many weapons, but if you're able to establish the running game, it's going to go a long way in this battle between two good offenses.
And that is a big key in this one as well, the offenses. Now, the defenses, they're certainly no slouch either, but it's going to be who can produce today. This ground attack of Cincinnati has been lethal at times this year, and Arnold Simpson a main reason for that as he gets the first down.
Yeah, look at that run. Again, you want to start off early. You want to start off well if you're Cincinnati, especially against a team like Las Vegas, who have so many defensive playmakers. You just want to be able to have that early start, have that early lead, and be able to dictate the tempo of the game.
Here's Alexander again, third play, third carry for Simpson. He just gets to the line.
Yes, Bengals are approaching it a little differently. Usually you would expect a pass between the first 3 plays, but they're starting to hammer in the running game a little bit more before they start to go all out with passing.
And again, it's Simpson with a carry, and he is once more stopped as he is brought down to the ground, and that does bring up the first third down of the day, 3rd and 9. Three receivers to the right side of the formation. Alexander taking the snap, going to line up and throw. Has a man. That's Santiago Jaquez down the seam across the 30. The Bengals drive will continue.
So far, Bengals offense has been seamless. They have executed on everything they have put their fingers print on. And once again, you see that little route by Jaquez there. Gets a little bit open, gets a little bit separation. Alexander finds him. First down and more. Getting closer to the end zone.
First and 10.
Absolutely. And now you see a 1st and 10 situation here for the Bengals. 3 receivers to the right, once more 1 to the left. One lone man in the backfield back there. As we see Santiago Jaquez going in motion. Quick drop back for Alexander with all kinds of time. Looking, throws off target. He did have a receiver in the area. I believe that was the tight end, Ace Mealy, he was gunning for, but it's incomplete.
With the coverage.
A little bit disappointing there. He had all the time in the world to pick out a pass and couldn't find any. Great defense by the Raiders there, but if that's the Bengals, you're going to feel like that's a missed opportunity.
As they move right to left, Emmett Ellis goes in motion. Alexander going to throw. Completes to Ellis. couple yards short of the first, but it's a good pickup. It will be 3rd and 3.
Big play here for the Raiders defense. Can they get a stop? Can they force the Bengals offense to 3 points? Or will this drive continue to go?
3rd and 3 for Alexander with pressure coming, and they had the man just short. Could not get it to Emmett Ellis on the crossing route. The ball falls to the ground harmlessly. It's incomplete.
Felt like there was a little bit of miscommunication there. Yeah, the man, the route, it was wide open. And maybe saw the ball late. Now the Bengals are forced to kick field goal, try and get the lead.
And that kick forced out left, no good, as just forced it too far to the left, and we still, after a good drive by Cincinnati, remain scoreless here in Oakland. Big break for the Raiders.
Yeah, just very disappointing end to the drive for Cincinnati. Did all that work to just come up with nothing. So now if you're Cincinnati defense, you have to try and get 3 and out as quickly as possible, because this Raiders offense is capable of lining it up.
Brady White now taking over and throwing, almost intercepted, but it gets by the Bengals defender, and it's Cush Marley with a big grab and a big run for the first down.
Yeah, and good setup by the Bengals defense there. Just better offense. See, got the run. Man, did that go through his hands? I think it did.
It looked like it did, yeah.
Yeah, just very unfortunate there for the Bengals.
So it is 1st and 10. The Bengals trying to go up and make a big defensive play early, and it falls short. Brady White now turns back to his right after running left, and he once more finds Marley for a gain of 5.
Here comes the counter. Here comes 2nd and 5.
So 2nd and 5 now coming for the Oakland Raiders. Just shy of midfield. Ashton Genty, big carry, good blocking out front, springs him across the 30, 25, close to the 20 before being brought down, and that's the kind of run you expect from Ashton Genty.
Yeah, what a run there. You saw the kind of go up a little bit up the middle, Genty kind of cups up, flying the seam the hole, and just continues going, and he could have ran all the way to the house if not for the Bengals defense catching up there, but at the end. But what a run, what a play for the Raiders. Much needed. Now they're starting to get a little bit closer to their own end.
Brady White, again to Tangenti. He's bottled up to begin with, but he does somehow find a way to squirm forward for 2 yards before he is tackled.
With the tackle. 2nd and 8. Ball at the 21.
Don't take too much time in the huddle. Quickly back to the line. They've worked out of a quick huddle for a good portion of this season, honestly.
Yeah.
As we see a throw to the sidelines, covered nicely by the Bengals. Having to go to a check down there, he does find Marley out around the sidelines. It's 3rd and 5.
Now we just need 35 to try and get this pretty much get a first down here. So we should see what the Raiders are going to plan here.
And the handoff is Tangenti. They goes powering forward, picks up the 5 yards needed and a little bit more. First down for the Raiders.
And I like that there by the Raiders. It seemed like they were going for a pass, but a little bit of a direction there. Gets the handoff, fools the defenders, get the first down. A nice play call by the Raiders there.
Yes, it certainly was. Good play call indeed, exploiting that middle gap there. And a fresh set of downs just outside of the red zone. And Brady White with time throws end zone. It's intercepted. A big leaping grab. And again, the defenses have come to play. Armani Lassiter with the INT.
And it feels like a little bit of karma biting the Raiders. The Bengals were supposed to get an interception earlier down this drive, and finally second time is a charm for them. Last year, big catch, big grab, great awareness there. And now the Bengals get the ball back with a chance to hopefully try and now put some points on the board.
Man, what a big defensive play. And we still remain scoreless with 2:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Now here's a handoff again, very apropos of the Bengals, and a nice run taking men with him is Arnold Simpson.
Yeah, big play there by the Bengals. We talked about game changers defensively, and last year is one of those defensive game changers. He just changed the script of this game quite easily.
We've got 2nd and 3 now for Cincinnati, pushing their way out past the 10-yard line. Alexander got to be really careful here, but he throws, has a man. Nice completion and good separation. Good job on the outside, and that was Millie bringing that one in.
Yeah, great execution there. That's what you need from your quarterback. Great drive there. Great play to extend the drive, and now Cincinnati gets a little bit more closer to that 50-yard line.
Rolling out right, Alexander throwing, streaking route, and off to the races. Santiago Jaquez, he'll not be denied. Touchdown Cincinnati.
Beautiful execution there for Cincinnati open the scoring. We talked about game changers. We talked about them defensively, but offensively, Santiago Jaquez has been a menace in this game. And look at him, he burns the defender after catching it. Nice route run, nice stride, nice touchdown. Great execution by the Bengals to now finally put themselves on the board and take the lead in this game.
Number 7 to
An
attempt
incredible
the extra point.
drive.
Number 5.
And a great play, a play that has worked so well for Cincinnati this entire season. Alexander on the crossing route, finding Jaquez perfectly. And it is an extra point that is good up the middle. Perfect. 7-0. Cincinnati now leads. 1:21 remaining in this opening quarter.
Yeah, great drive there by the Bengals. And now for the Raiders, you have to respond. You don't want to let the Bengals get momentum. They've just got an interception. They just got a touchdown from, I believe, a 3-play drive. So if you're the Raiders, you want to strike back as quickly as possible.
Tangenti brings this one out. You see Alexander getting a word from the coaches and coordinators up top in the box. Already going to work on their next series. One of the early matchups of this Cincinnati and Oakland series this season was very exciting. The first home game for Cincinnati, and it came down to the wire. The Bengals on a come-from-behind victory, stunning the Raiders to put them, I believe it was 0-2 at that point in the season, and that really began a turning point for Oakland as well. Oh, this ball popped loose, a jarring hit. What a play by Zach Holdorf. Marley loses the ball. The Bengals recover.
A disaster start for the Raiders. Another big defensive play by the Bengals. And it seems like it's just, oh, wait, they're challenging this one.
Well, you got to wonder if they're... Yeah, I think they want to see if you're going to be able to define a football move. In my opinion, this looks like a clear fumble, but we will go under the hood here of the replay camera to see what we can kind of get here on this angle. Let's take a look here, Omni.
Looks like a fumble to me. I mean,
it did.
After review, the play has been ruled
Holdorf on the hit,
pass.
Brody
Receiver
White,
did not have
with the
possession
recovery.
of the ball prior to the fumble.
And
Oakland will not be
the ruling
charged
on the
for
field
timeout.
is overturned, ladies and gentlemen. Oakland is not charged a timeout. That is why you challenge. But I'll be honest, partner, I'm a bit stunned.
Me too. I mean, it's a break for Oakland. They much needed it because if they were to fumble that ball, the situation that pairs for the rest of this game would not have looked good. But it's a break, and you just have to recover after this if you're the Bengals. Just try your best.
A new lease on life here for Brady White as he throws complete to the Raiders receiver, brings up 3rd and 2.
Nice little catch there for 8 yards. You see there, Brady White, 3.6 thousand passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. A really good season for him last season. Can he replicate that this season?
Kynan Kowalski here drops that one in the bucket in just enough time before he takes a pretty good hit. But it is a 1st and 10 now for Oakland. See the replay again, just a great throw by Brady White. And really, truly, even a better catch by Brian Kowalski. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As Brady White takes the snap, going to step up, has room to run, has the first down, and wisely slides down after picking up the important yardage needed.
Yeah, that's a great vision by the quarterback. Sees that the middle's open. Great blocking by the Raiders. Runs down for a few yards, gets first down. It's like just
Cam Sadscat, the only Bengal in the area. But Brady White gets down before getting hit, and we are off to the second quarter. Cincinnati 7, Oakland 0. You're watching the AFA on YouTube. You got Cameron Duty here in the booth with Omni as we start the second quarter. And the Raiders now starting to move, getting a big break with the turnover that was negated by the Oakland challenge. And Brady White will throw. Dropped, incomplete, looking for Kowalski.
With the deflection.
So 2nd and 10 coming up here.
2nd and 10.
Good coverage by the Bengals defense.
47.
3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. White to Tangenti with the carry. Gets out to about the 42, and we've got 3rd and 5 coming up.
Kwame Lassiter with the tackle.
Big play here for the Raiders. You just got that little, fumble overturned, and now can you finally get some points on the board and kind of change the mood and tide of this game?
White throws. It's just behind Cush Marley. He had the first down if he could have brought it in. In fact, White had to kind of put it back there to where only Marley could get it, but he threw it low and too far behind.
Yeah, tough break there for the Raiders. And let's see now.
Number 34 to make the return.
They're going to punt it away.
4th and 5. And so another drive ending in frustration for Oakland, even after getting the turnover overturned. Fair catch called for by Arnold Simpson for Cincinnati. And that's where the Bengals will go back to work.
And you have to feel in this game like the Bengals have been the better team. I mean, even with the fumble not going their way, they've been more sound. Just, they've moved the ball better. So it's been a really tough time for the Raiders in this first half.
Alexander throws, and he's got his target. Sprinting down the sidelines. And it is no, forgive me. They'll say that he stepped out of bounds, and now Cincinnati will challenge.
Hey, we want a challenge.
Interesting.
Cincinnati is challenging whether the pass was caught inbounds.
Because I felt as if Barry had his feet in, but we'll get a better look at this angle. That looks like a catch to me.
I'm going to expect that they overturn this one, right?
The catch was made prior to going out of bounds.
One would think, and it is overturned. Cincinnati is not charged a timeout. I will say this, though. The officiating today been a little bit sketchy at certain times here in this one, but they get it right on the overturn call.
Yeah, that is the threat.
So 1st and 10, outside the 30.
Ball at the Bengals' 28-yard
28-yard line for Cincinnati, a tight formation with 3 receivers to the right. Alexander calling out signals and takes the snap. Up the middle, here's Simpson fighting hard, somehow getting through all of that congestion, and he picks up 8 yards.
Nice job there. Oh, look at this. A little bit of a route running and nice blocking there.
Whatever works to get the job done, and it did out front. Some blocking and a little bit of misdirection there on the block, as a matter of fact. It's 2nd and 2 for the Bengals. Alexander again lining up under center, but just that ground and pound of Arnold Simpson gets him the first down as he works his way out close to midfield.
First down, Bengals.
That's a nice play right there, partner.
1st and 10.
Yeah.
Ball at the Bengals 44-yard line.
Split backs on another first down here for Cincinnati. On the roll again, as good as our offense has moved, it's hard to believe that they're only up by 1 touchdown. The carry once more is Simpson, but he doesn't get much as he's met immediately by Marquez.
Yeah, now the Raiders defense starting to put their fingerprints into the game a little bit, so that's good news for the Raiders. But if you're the Bengals, you want to try and get something on the board, try and extend this lead if possible before the Raiders get the ball back.
2nd and 9, and now pitching it left side goes Arnold Simpson. He had blocking out front, but the Raiders get the better of this play. Only a 4-yard pickup.
Now 3rd and a little bit of a long here, it's medium to long, so much needed conversion here for the Bengals if you want to stay on the field.
Barry and the wide out moves to the left side of the formation, and here's the snap. Alexander throws quickly into really a pile of receivers and defenders there, and it's 4th and 6.
I didn't like that there. It was a very rushed possession. If you're the Bengals, you want to just try and get the first down and stay as patient as possible, but good defense by the Raiders to force the 3 and out, and now the Raiders get a chance with the ball back to try and tie this before halftime.
You know, it certainly felt like they could have let that play or picked another play that would have breathed just a little bit more, and they would have been in pretty good position, but nevertheless, they punted away to Tangenti. He brings it back out to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, just play calling is such a very important thing in these type of games, and it can determine whether games that look like this that are going to be tight, where it goes the team's way or not. So.
And another first down, Kowalski again, and you see him signal first down, Oakland.
Incredible catch there. I mean, look at that. There's a defender right on him, and there's another one underneath. Just a good ball and incredible strength to just secure the ball there and get the first down.
Out to the 35-yard line. 4:57 remaining in this second quarter. Brady White going to step up. Oh, and he gets hit. Decked, as it was a good pressure up the middle there by Cincinnati with some defensive strong-arming by John Johnson.
Looked like a pile of mess there. They get the sack, though, but seems like the Raiders were not on the same page on that possession.
No, it most certainly did not. And in motion. Marley dropping back, throwing short of the line of scrimmage. And we have our first flag of the day.
Ineligible receiver, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Illegal touching forward pass. It seemed like I don't think that was intentional by the offensive lineman by any means, but that's what they get him for. I think he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, kind of a harsh one to get out for the pass, but.
Well, it's 2nd and 20, and that's a lofty throw to Kowalski, who was nowhere
10
of
was the
even
intended
in
receiver.
the vicinity there to
Will Allen
make
with the coverage.
an acrobatic grab. That kind of looked like that Bengals play that went so badly there on the third down attempt.
Yeah, another rush play there that I just did not like. You just calm it down a little bit. Find your man, find your open man. Just rushed a little bit too much, and
3rd and 19.
now you're stuck with a third and
Ball at
really
the
long,
Bengals,
especially with the
26-yard
flag.
line.
It's not looking good.
Especially, like you said, on second down, you take that kind of quick play that ends the drive for you with no yardage, and it's 3rd and a mile, and you got to drop it off to Tangenti, who gets pushed out of bounds, still with 13 yards to go, and it's now 4th down.
Now it's no 3 and out. So it's rough there.
Did it feel to you like they kind of conceded on the drive and was just trying to get their punter a little bit more room to punt?
I think so, but at the same time, it's just again like they had so many opportunities to not rush the play. Just let the play develop a little bit. And they threw into a crowd, and you don't want that as a quarterback. You also don't even want that as a coach, right? You want to be able to have your quarterback try and
1st and
decipher
10, Cincinnati.
the field, see who's open, see who's not. So I feel like a lack of patience was shown here for me.
That's a good point, partner, as the Bengals now with good field position here across the 40, and they are in business. 2 receivers on either side. Direct snap to Arnold Simpson, who takes it for a couple. The Raiders were not fooled. A little trickery there, were they, with Alexander and Simpson side by side. And for the most part, the Raiders handled it well. Man in motion now for Cincinnati. And the 2nd and 8 play coming up. They keep it on the ground. A little more of their bread and butter, and that's why Arnold Simpson slithers out of a first tackle, and he gets close to the 1st down. A yard short, it'll be 3rd and 1. All right, split backs, 3rd and 1, inside of 3 minutes in the half left. Toss play left side and denied. They knew he was going that way. In fact, Van Lacey comes up big on the stop, and it is a 4th and 1, and I don't really expect them to go for it here, although I wouldn't be upset to see it, would you? Or they will. Here we go. Split backs on 4th and 1. Alexander. Pressure is coming from the backside, but Simpson just gets the 1st down. Man, that was close. Marquez was breathing down his neck.
1st and 10. Ball at the 46-yard line.
It's 1st and 10 with 2 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter. They will not get the snap off. We go to the 2-minute warning. You're watching the AFA on YouTube. Cameron and Omni back on the call with you here in the booth. Final 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter coming along here. Alexander lobs it up, but he does that fatal throw. As we said, he goes past the line of scrimmage, and this will be an illegal forward pass.
6, offense.
That has plagued Cincinnati all
5-yard
season.
penalty and loss of down. 2nd down.
Sorry, just a little bit issue there. Anyways.
2nd and 14. Ball at the Bengals, 50-yard.
So the penalty puts them at 2nd and 14. Alexander going to throw, has time, but throws right to Van Lacey's arms. Horrible throw by Eric Alexander, almost like he just kind of punted it away, and Van Lacey was the recipient. So there you see, Alexander trying to make up for his last kind of boo-boo, if you will, the illegal forward pass that put him back 5 yards. And instead, he throws the interception, an even worse mistake. So a bad series of plays for Cincinnati, and this game is still 7-0. And Oakland right here in it. If they can just get something together to pounce, screen pass to Tangenti, turns the corner along the sidelines and steps out of bounds. Minute 44 left in the half. Man, look at this right here. Good blocking by Kowalski, too. Not a block in the back, but he kind of held Simpson off, who, probably would have been one of his fastest targets to track him down.
Yeah, just, really unfortunate play there by the Bengals, but the Raiders need to get something on the board before halftime. You don't want to go into this halftime scoreless.
Gain of 1 on the play.
Agreed. So 2nd and 9, 90 seconds left on the clock in this first half.
Ball at the Raiders, 46-yard line.
And Brady White, delayed handoff, Tangenti. Oh, I thought he was down, but no. Good effort, good hustle by Tangenti. Does get back to the line of scrimmage before he was brought down by Brody White, and a timeout is called.
Yeah, good timeout there, but it's 3 and 10 again.
Ball at the Raiders,
The Raiders need a big conversion, and they need it here before the end of this half.
3rd and 10, 3 receivers to the right, but he goes right, and it's off the hands of Kowalski. Maybe tipped. I'm not sure. It looked to me like Kowalski just couldn't hang on to it.
It looked like it was tipped to me, but regardless of that, great defense by the Bengals to just be there, so that Kowalski doesn't have an easy grab. And another 3 and out for Oakland here, as the Bengals get possibly one more chance to put some more points on the board before halftime.
Got one more shot at it, for sure. And Simpson with the return. And it's interesting you mentioned that, too. Talk about the offenses and how this could be a game all about them. And then this Bengals defense comes in, and they have just played lights out. And Oakland's a team they seem to play very well, against their offense.
Yeah. The defense has been amazing. We talk about the fumble, we talk about the interception, we talked about the tip pass breakups. And
my
pass breakups.
Well, Omni, we almost saw the same play over again. Deja vu, except Van Lacey couldn't hold it in. The Bengals catch a break.
Yeah, the Raiders were about to almost shut my mouth there.
But Eric Alexander just needs to settle down here. He's played great this whole game, but he's going to have to get back in a rhythm. He's not in one right now in the least. That pass is incomplete. It's 3rd and 10. Now the Raiders may have another chance before half.
And it feels like both quarterbacks are kind of rushing here. Just they don't feel settled into the game. That's not a good thing you want to have for both these coaches.
3rd and 10. Alexander going to have to throw short to Ellis. He steps out. Even if he was inbounds at all, they don't give him any forward progression. A terrible-looking drive, the second straight one for Cincinnati. And it's a good thing their defense is playing as well as they are, because that offense is starting to sputter. A punt coming. And Oakland will have really good field position, and they're really good at a 2-minute drill. Here's Tangenti with a return right to midfield. You couldn't have planned this any better for the Raiders. And that, to me, Omni, is a fail on Cincinnati's offense. No, not good awareness there.
Yeah, just rushing when you didn't need to rush. And if you're the Raiders, you're not going to get a better chance to put some points on the board. You're already across half the field, 20 more yards, and you can get a field goal out of this. Perfect.
There you go. Prime example. That is caught, and a timeout called for. Man, I mean, you caught it up on me. 20 yards, and they're on the edge of field goal range. Bengals crowding the line on 1st and 10. Wyatt takes the snap and throws wide open. This is the play they needed. Touchdown, Cush Marley. And like we said, the Bengals offense had the early score. Ever since then, though, it's been a rough go of it for their offense, and that left the Raiders in it many times, many drives, that the Bengals could have put some points on the board and come away with nothing. Oakland is ready to play.
Yeah, and again, you saw just patient, be patient, and look at what White did. Was patient, found the open man, found the open touchdown, and that's finally Raiders on the board. And they needed that touchdown so much for the first half because the offense was struggling for a huge part of the first half.
They really were struggling mightily, in fact, and while they still look to be, not great, not tip-top shape, they get it together enough for one big play that ties them up with Cincinnati. 33 seconds remaining here for the Bengals. And the Raiders, with momentum maybe shifting on their side, should, if my memory serves correctly, get the ball back to start the third quarter, as this is brought out to the 22-yard line by Rex Jordan.
After the game, let's get on that new ESPN football game. All right, man. Cool. Okay,
yeah, if you're the Bengals, a lot of missed opportunities to try and get more points on the board before the Raiders will score, but have about 30 seconds left, so talk about a 2-minute drill. Alexander can just find his patience and find those right open plays. He could get into field goal range.
Alexander with 29 seconds to work with. Takes the snap and gives up the middle to Arnold Simpson, and it makes you wonder if they're just ready to wave the white flag on this half and go back to the locker room.
Seems like they are running down the clock here.
I'd like to see them take a couple shots, but we'll see if they decide to snap it before the clock runs out, and they will once more keep it on the ground. And we go to halftime, all tied up at 7. The Bengals, for the majority of this game, well, let's put it this way, all but the final 30 seconds of this half leading, and the Oakland Raiders taking a big strike at the very later moments of the second quarter to tie it up 7-7 here in the AFA. This is game 2 of week 8. Cameron and Omni welcome you into the halftime show. And Omni, I'd love to have your thoughts. What would you like to see out of this second half?
For how well the Bengals have played in this half, not just offensively, but defensively, I feel like the Raiders have put themselves back into this game with that touchdown. We talked about the Raiders just getting something on the board, right, before halftime, and they did. And it's a tight game, and even as, not as well as the Raiders have been playing, they have a puncher's chance in this game, and that's all you want to ask for as a coach. So, it's been a very tight game, but the second half is going to pretty much show, who's going to be that team to kind of pull ahead. And both offenses have been pretty, haven't been the most patient, but the defenses have made up for them, and that's all you want to see if you're both coaches, especially on a rough offense.
And how about that time of possession? Incredible time of possession by the Bengals, but again, as you said, just 7 points to show for it.
Yeah, they had so many chances, so many extended drives, especially on the first one, and they just couldn't. They were not able to just get points on the board, and it is kind of frustrating, especially if you're a quarterback, that you're not able to get points on the board. But the only thing you can do is just move on from this and continue trying, continue being patient, continue executing on the play calls, and continue trying to find ways to go read defensive coverages especially when you're a little bit tensed up. So you have to keep your control, keep your emotions, trust in your game, and continue to fight. Because this is going to be a game that looks like will go down to the wire.
It really does. And we welcome you back to start the third quarter with the Raiders getting the ball. And a nice job again by Tangenti, using him as the return man. And he gets out past the 20-yard line. And you see the Raiders' possessions. It's not been pretty, but in the end, 10 seconds was all it took to get it done.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how long it takes to get it done, as you see from time possession. It just matters that you get it done. And they've been able to get it done. So great job by the Raiders.
1st and 10 for Oakland as Kowalski goes in motion. And it is Tangenti on the carry. He picks up 2, 2nd and 8.
Second and 7. Ball at the Raiders, 29-yard line.
2-yard pickup on 1st down, and that brings us to 2nd and 8. Here's White with good protection. Throws.
Oh.
Yeah, scary throw there. Right in the area. There was number 56 of Cincinnati, and he almost comes up with an interception.
I don't think you're going to get a better opportunity than that. Like, that was right in your face. I mean, we talked about that one for the first half, but that one was just right in your face there. So
3rd and 8 now. Again, the Bengals defense, you just can't say, that one play that the Raiders broke free, that's going to happen. But as a whole, this Bengals defense has played so well. We'll see what they can do. 3rd down. Cannot hold against the conversion attempt, and Kowalski gets the 1st down.
I feel you. Again, another play where it feels like the Bengals are right there, but they're not. And it's a great catch, but like, you're not going to get too many more clear opportunities to, change the tide of the game. So unfortunate for the Bengals, and the Raiders stay alive.
Yeah, partner. I mean, I thought for a minute they were going to tackle him at the line. Instead, Kowalski breaks free. This is a pickup of 4. Brody White makes the tackle. And, again, it's just some missed opportunities starting to show here. Maybe some cracks in the foundation.
Yeah, just very unfortunate there if you're the Bengals, but maybe this is the luck that the Raiders probably needed to get going offensively. So let's see what happens.
They turn things, around, right? Kind of get things going in motion here. What a big-time run by Ashton Genty. I actually thought he got the 1st, but they're going to say the knee was down short of the 1st.
3rd and inches. Ball at the 49.
So a yard to go here for Oakland. And Brady White under center, taking his time. Cool as a cucumber there under this formation, and he hands off to Tangenti, who for a hard yard was able to finally pop it out left side to get the 1st. Wasn't easy for Tangenti on that carry, but he does, like I said, get the 1st down. And so now you see a little audible here by the Bengals trying to get in formation. 3 receivers to the right for the Raiders. Here's a throw short, tipped away. That's a great job. Not even able to see the football was Armani Lassiter. He pretty much had to feel that football in the vicinity to swat it away.
Yeah, another nice defensive possession there by Bengals, especially Lassiter, who's had a really good game today. So good signs for the Bengals here, especially defensively. If you can limit this to just 3 points, I feel like this is a win here for Cincinnati.
Cush Marley moves in motion. Pressure coming. Oh, man. Brady White just about ran into it. Agnes Tayshawn was in the area and forced the throw.
I mean, that was close. I won't lie, that was close. Um, he almost got it there.
First and
So
10.
uh, but
Ball at the 47.
nice defense by the Bengals once again.
Too close for comfort for Brady White, he says. Now he'll throw again. Quick release. Going down to the turf to pick it up. It's caught, but it's a good open field tackle that brings it to 4th and 7 for the Raiders.
Is this the only way you're
Brad Maynard in punt formation. Number 34 to make the return.
And the defense again for Cincinnati, able to kind of stiffen there and take hold. Fielded inside the 15, brought out across the 20, down to the 24-yard line comes Arnold Simpson.
Bringing it all day.
So this game has been, as we said, everything that
First and 10.
we said the defense was going to be good. We thought the offense would be a little more high flying. Up to this point, we've seen 2 strikes, 1 for either team. But that's about it. The defense has been the name of the game. Here's a throw out of the backfield to Simpson, and he almost picks up the first down. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and both defenses have been really good, especially with just warming the receiver. I don't know if it's like they know the plays because a lot of the possession, see, there's not just one defender; there are multiple defenders, and it feels like we could have done a lot more interceptions today. But again, just both good defenses here battling it out.
3rd and 3, and Simpson goes nowhere. In fact, he's brought down quickly again by Marquez, who's been all over the place today. Another big stop.
Now it's a 3rd and 1 here, so only need about a yard. But knowing the Raiders are going to stack the line, so if you can try and get something more before the pass rush comes, which it seems like they're going to commit a lot, this could go for a big play.
So that it could. Simpson cuts it right as he totally broke the ankles of Colin Richards to get the first down. Lacey pushes him out of bounds. What a play.
The elusiveness by Simpson there to just know that the defender's coming on the near side and just shift his body, shift that angle, and get the first down. Big play there by Simpson.
Oh, man. I mean, that would, I don't know that that'll end up on the highlight reels at the end of this one, but that was a really nice play worthy of another look. And here's Jaquez. This looks very reminiscent of the Raiders play that got them to the end zone. And it is Jaquez outrunning everybody for the touchdown.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, just confuses 2 defenders. Gets another one there.
Yeah. Lacey went for the interception there, Omni.
Yeah, and committed a little bit too much. And Jaquez was just able to change the angle a little bit and take it all the way to the house for the touchdown. So, big play there.
Feast or famine, quite honestly, as what it's been on the defensive side for some of these players today. They'll make a good stop, but then they'll come back and they'll blow a coverage going for an interception or a tip ball. And someone like Santiago Jaquez is going to make you pay. It's 14-7 Cincinnati. So 3:39 remaining in this 3rd quarter. And Eric Alexander to kick, forgive me, as it is the Bengals kicker to kick it away. I was going to say, Eric Alexander's stats totals really got some much-needed help. He was less than 50% on that before that throw, but his yardage and QB rating will go up after that touchdown grab.
Yeah, well, much needed there if you're the Raiders, especially after that previous possession where it seemed like the defense was doing a great job until that overcommit, which again, talk about feast or famine. It's either been 3 and out or a touchdown. And look at that feasting there.
How about the Joker? Outrunning Tangenti. Look at this. I mean, very often, we usually on that play see Tangenti turn it upfield and leave everybody in the dust. But that time the Joker got a hold of him and wouldn't let go.
You just got to credit that to good defense there. They knew what was coming, and look at this rush.
Oh! But you know what they say? If you live by the blitz, you can die by the blitz, and that was a case of, had it not been a last-second tackle, Kowalski was going to be gone again.
Yeah, I mean, they overcommitted, and this is what happens when you overcommit. These quarterbacks are too good. They're going to eventually find someone open. And thank goodness the Bengals had some other defenders.
This looks more like the first play of this series. Green getting in on the tackle. Another loss of 2 for Tangenti, and it's 2nd and 12.
You ever feel like two teams play without a playbook? They just play like backyard football? Because this is what it's feeling like right now. Like, it's just a bunch of chaos, just everyone running to whoever has the balls and play. So
honestly, every time these two teams get together, this is how it feels. Like I referenced the game in Cincinnati in week 2. It was chaos abound, and it's just something, isn't it, that when you pair up against an opponent, sometimes all the best laid plans go out the window, and it's backyard football. As we've got 3rd and 8 here for the Raiders, as White play action, throw short of the first. Again, good containment by Cincinnati. That's Holdorf.
Will Allen with the tackle.
yeah, dude, and a nice job by the Bengals defense, forced 3 and out. Both defense have been amazing today, but the Bengals for me kind of stand out a little bit more, just upon what they're doing, how they're running it. So very, very impressed by the Bengals defense here today.
And so am my partner. Now here's a spiraling punt, and Simpson brings it back out to the 24-yard line. This game starting to grow long here in the tooth, if you will. 1:18 left in the 3rd quarter, and we're getting down to crunch time in this one. Oakland, again, their offense still just not ticking, and quite frankly, the Bengals gave them one. Other than that, it would be Cincinnati up 14-0. Here is a throw. Oh my goodness, almost intercepted, not once but twice.
Number 33 with the deflection.
Fine margins here in this game. Hey man, these defenses are coming to play. There is no joking about. Just get your hand on anything you can get your hand on, and that's what the motto these two defenses are living by today. From now on, these two quarterbacks, Alexander White, they're gonna have to tread carefully, because any wrong mistake can lead to momentum change, and it could lead to another possession for the other team.
It's 2nd and 10. Everybody's coming here, and Simpson goes left side, and he's going to outrun. He's going to outrun DeMarcus Demolition. A missed tackle you don't usually see from the big man. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Wow.
How about that? Look at him take off, but they stacked the box on the right side of the formation, and the Raiders coming after Arnold Simpson. They thought, sure, Omni, it was going to go to the right. Simpson cuts back left.
I mean, the Raiders almost had that.
Number 7.
Guy almost stopped the tackle there.
Number 5
Simpson,
holding.
141 yards rushing. Arnold Simpson.
141 yards rushing indeed. And a touchdown on the day. The extra point is good. And Cincinnati extends their lead to 2 scores, 21-7 over Oakland.
And I feel like this game is a really good example for what happens when you live and you die by the blitz. Saw that, and again, they blitzed the quarterback there. All attention was on the quarterback, and Simpson was able to find his way out and to get, a wide open run to the house. So a lot of different blitz coverages here, but you just want to make sure that the execution is vital on some of these plays, because if they're not, it can end up to open touchdowns like this.
So we got 58 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We sent ball out to the 30-yard line. And it's go time for the Raiders, as we've got 2 receivers on either side of the formation. And Brady White taking the snap, throws to Tangenti on the screen, and again covered well by Tayshawn. He's out there. And Green also coming up with the stop.
Yeah, for the Raiders now, it's go time. You need a touchdown here. And you need it quick before the end, preferably for around the 6-minute mark of fourth quarter.
Absolutely, as we've also got another good run by Tangenti. If you notice, he's a much better north and south runner than when they send him east or west.
Yeah, he's good on those type of routes. You just want to be able to know what the play is, what the coverage is for the Bengals before you try, execute on those type of runs there.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
And you know what? I think if Marley wants a foul or a flag, it's going to be for unnecessary roughness. Nothing wrong with the Joker there on that hit. He pops it loose.
Don't let him kick it.
oh my goodness. And I don't think he was going for the ball. I think he was going for the man.
It looked that way. He didn't care whether he actually caught it or not. He was just going to lay the lumber to Marley Cush, if you will. And so a good defensive stop again by Cincinnati. And that brings us to a very dramatic closing of quarter number 3, if you can believe it or not. We've got 1 quarter left to play, and the Bengals lead by 2 scores. You're watching the AFA on YouTube. Welcome back as we start the fourth quarter. Cameron and Omni here in the booth. And so we just sent a great defensive stand by the Bengals and an obliterating hit by the Joker on Cush Marley. And now good field position to start the drive here for Cincinnati. 3 men lining out to the right side of the formation. Here is Alexander to throw. Short and off the hands of Simpson, incomplete. My question for you, Omni, though, is this. Are you willing to say that Cincinnati has the best defense in the AFA?
It's hard for me to say it. Like, they had so many playmakers from last year, Sad Cat. I don't want to jinx anything there because, like, your defense is not going to be great every night. Let's just be honest. Like, you're going to have a back. But the way they're playing today, I mean, you continue to play like this, there's not going to be too many defensive players.
Yeah, I mean, they really are near the top of the echelon, no doubt. You know, if you don't want to say the best, you got to say one of the best. And the offense right now, though, again, sputtering. And I think at times when Cincinnati has struggled, that's been kind of the case. One side of the ball looks really strong, a lot of times in particular the defense, and then sometimes it feels like the offense just kind of has to find a way to catch up.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like here. But the Raiders get another big stop here, and the Raiders' problem has not been defensive. Like, this has been a very good defensive game despite overcommits on the blitz. But it's just offensively, right? They haven't been able to put their imprint on this game, and you can credit that to the Bengals defense, who has been excellent today. But again, just the lack of patience for me is just, it is kind of worrying this team.
It's a nice open field tackle there on the punt because Tangenti had a lot of room to run. And here's Cush Marley going in motion. He's okay after that big hit. And Brady White ready to get this drive going. Hands off to Tangenti, slithers between 2 tackles and gets the first down. Good explosiveness there out of Tangenti. We've not been able to see that much today.
Yeah, I like that from Tangenti. You just want to be able to try and push the tempo here. And if they can try and get him going, which is something that he's found those little strides in between games, but they can get him going, maybe can go a long way in this game.
16 attempts and 71 yards for Ashton Tangenti, along with 29 today. And Brady White gonna go deep here, lobs it up, has a man, and again, it's the defense, in particular, Zach Holdorf, the cornerback, breaking the pass up.
It seemed like he had in his hands the last-minute dish effort tackle he's able to distract who's the receiver there? Okay.
Second and 10.
Man,
Ball
what a
at the Bengals'
play.
40-yard line.
What a play. Cush Marley there, it looks for sure, like you said, that he had the deep bomb. Holdorf holds. Now Brady White back to it again. Tip, and it is once again. Holdorf, 2 straight plays, but this time he tips it up in the air just to catch his own volleyball serve, if you will.
Wow. I mean, athleticism tipped it up. Wow, man.
But how cool was that too? As he broke off the the coverage there, as he's seen Brady White's eyes looking to the right side of the field, and the Bengals have the ball back in Oakland territory with 6:45 remaining in this game. As we have that is man in motion and good blocking out front for Simpson, who picks up 9 on the carry.
And I think, honestly, just in my opinion, I mean, what a game defensively by the Bengals. And I think that interception by Zach Holdoff is, I believe, personally the dagger. You need 2 touchdowns and you need some quick stops. And the Bengals defense has been nothing but sublime today.
That's a good word for it. It's a great word for it, as Simpson fights his way for the first down. And now, you know what? This is where the clock begins to really be a factor here, and they start to rely on their ground game.
Yeah, if you're the Bengals, there's no need to try and go for glory. You have a 2 touchdown lead, but it seems like they're gonna go for it.
First down, Bengals.
Well, about the time we say that, isn't it? They do the polar opposite, but it works out well with Jaquez in the middle of the field.
It's a risky play there, but it converts, and now you don't really need to rush it here. So shoot the clock down all the way to, let's say,
First and 10.
around 3 to 2 minutes, maybe before the 2-minute warning, to see if you can see. Yeah, you don't have to do much here for the Bengals.
Well, you're pretty well, and surprisingly, once again, they'll throw home run ball, touchdown. How about that? Through the hands again of an Oakland defender, and Emmett Ellis finds its way to him. It's a touchdown, Cincinnati.
Man, I gotta get my head right.
Seems like they wanted to add insult to injury, and, well, they wanted to make a statement. I mean, what a dime for the past 2 plays here by Eric Alexander, and this is another one it's. I mean, words cannot describe how impressive that pass is. There's literally a defender, in his view, and he still finds a way to get it up and over the defender to his receiver. So another perfect pass, and man, Bengals have been a machine, not only defensively but on both sides of the ball, as they take a 21-point lead in the fourth.
That pass eluded the hands of Van Lacey. He was right there, but he couldn't do nothing about it. Alexander high-pointing that football just over the top there of the Oakland defense, and Emmett Ellis was there waiting in the end zone. And like you said, the Bengals wanted to make a statement there. I think they wanted to try to nail the coffin early in this game. 5:22 left. Oakland down 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, for the Oakland, is it safe to say it's now game over? Like, I mean, you could have gotten a stop on the other on previous defensive drive, but now it's just see if you can try and get some consolation points.
It's going to have to ask a lot of this offense to rule it off. I mean, as you see, that pass is good to Smith. What, in my opinion, it's going to take, partner, is 3 touchdowns, but also you're going to have to get a couple of onside kicks probably there as well in your favor.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot to go down for you. And
I think if you score here, you got to start going onside kick.
Yeah, you have to, and you're still down 2 touchdowns to score, so a long way to come back from if you're Oakland.
And Tangenti gets the carry, maybe 2 yards, and they go no huddle. Kind of a surprise to see them go, ground game there. Now he rolls out, tipped, and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
And we've got 3rd and 8 coming.
Number 13 was the intended receiver. Terry Cousin with the coverage.
So a big play here for the home team
3rd and 7.
in Oakland, California.
The Raiders,
3rd and 8 for
42-yard
Brady
line.
White and his Raiders.
They need to convert here.
If not, you might even look at 4th down. White throwing again.
The pass
That
is
was
incomplete.
Holdorf again trying to get another.
With the deflection.
It is incomplete.
Now this is for all the marbles. If you're Oakland, if you want to have a fighting chance in this game, you have to convert here, or this game is going to go to the Bengals.
Yeah, you can't get
4th
none.
and 7.
You can't get none.
Ball at the Raiders, 42-yard
4th
line.
down. And if they don't get it, the Bengals inherit the football at the 43-yard line of Oakland. White to throw, batted away, and that will turn it over. Cincinnati ball as Cam Sadscat comes up with a major swat down.
And that is just describes how well the Bengals defense. Another close interception. The Bengals defense, their hands have been on literally every ball that has flown past 10 yards. It is an astonishing and impressive defensive performance by Cincinnati here today.
And we would further expect them to run the clock here, and they do give the ball to Simpson. Now you got to stop him. That's the other part of the equation. He picks up 7. So 4:10 remaining here in the 4th.
Ball at the 34-yard
On a
line.
2nd and 3. Inside of 4 minutes now in this one. Taking their time and handing off. 1st down. Simpson almost sprung that one for more if it had not been for Colin Richards.
1st down, Bengals.
Oh, wow. Look at this stat on me. 404 yards allowed in a game.
I mean, this just goes to show how impressive defensively the Bengals have been. They have pretty much changed the complex of this game.
You know, even more interesting about that, we've talked about times that what could the Bengals have put up. I mean, there's times we talked, and we're kind of critical of what they were able to do on certain drives that felt like they come up short. And they still put up 404 yards against this Oakland defense, as that is a loss of a yard. But more importantly, though, the clock continuing to tick.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals could have been so much better here today, and that's not a knock to the Raiders. They have a really good team, but the Bengals, especially on that first drive where they went all the way down to the Raiders' enemy territory in the end zone and came with nothing, right? If you get 3 there, the scoreline's going to look, worse than it already looks. So, I mean, just words cannot describe how impressed the Bengals have been on both sides of the ball here today in every pass.
That is a fact, partner. Arnold Simpson gets close to the 1st, and you see the Raiders fans hanging their head in some frustration here. So where does it leave Oakland here? Omni, as we said, we're in week 8 here, and in Oakland, we talked about a rocky season as we go to the 2-minute warning, a rocky season at times, especially compared to the dominance that they had over the entire league in season 1. But this team, it's still a good team, Omni, but I think it shows how much growth these other franchises have been able to acquire in the offseason.
Yeah, for me, it's just been, I mean, you're the champions. Let's just be honest, right? Now, the second season isn't always going to be as smooth as the first season was, but you have some challenges. You have some teams that have definitely improved while, you've been, gone. But again, Cincinnati here, they've done excellent here today. They missed another field goal, but
in every department except special teams, right?
Yeah. But if you're Oakland, again, don't let this get to your head. There's still a lot of football to be played, and not only that, you have a champions pedigree, which means that nobody can catch you. I'm certainly not counting you out when the postseason play. So, go back to the drawing board, regroup, find what works, find what doesn't. I think the reason why they lost here today was just the lack of patience and also just not the use of tangenti. You see in games where they use tangenti a lot more, they just weren't able to do that today, and they leaned a little bit more passing, which kind of hurt them because the
Second and 5.
the Bengals
Ball at
had
the Raiders'
their hands on everything,
35-yard line.
so it hurt them here today, but. you- what- Again, you learn from just playing these type of teams twice. They played them twice, so now they know what to expect if they meet up in the postseason. So if you're Oakland, you just continue to learn from this, and continue to adapt.
The final timeout called
Let's step it up. We
by
got this
Oakland.
5. Ball at the
Third
Raiders'
and 6
35-yard line.
coming here. Minute 42 remaining in the fourth quarter. As you said, this Oakland team still trying to find some footing. That pass incomplete. They'll have to go for it again on 4th and 6. And I think the big difference this season is while this offense has certainly had glimpses of brilliance, it's been hot and cold. One game they're on fire, the next they're a little bit stagnant. It's 4th and 6 here again, as I said, folks. All coming down to this play. White needing to convert out of the backfield. Not a chance. That is Tayshawn again with the hit on Tangenti. And that is one play to describe the entire ball game for this Cincinnati Bengals defense.
They have been everywhere here today, and that play just describes it most. Just really impressive by the Bengals defense. One of the best performances I have seen this season defensively from a team. So congrats to the Bengals. They have, I would say, put themselves among the best of the best. So there's nothing much else I can say. Congratulations, Cincinnati.
Well, certainly. And now the only thing left to do is run the timeout here, kneeling it down. 2nd and 11, and the clock just ticking away. Of course, folks, we invite you to join us for more football action in the AFA as this season continues to roll on. It's been great competition all throughout the league this year, and we're getting close to the postseason. And again, if you know anybody interested in becoming a part of this AFA server, we invite you to do so by going to Discord, American Football Association. Of course, these videos on YouTube, if you would be so inclined to hit the like button and share this video, that does a world of wonders for the algorithm indeed, as we try to reach more viewers. And we don't want anybody missing out on the incredible football action that we have here in this league. Final 30 seconds and a final kneel down, and it is victory celebration time for Cincinnati. Play clock down to 5. 3, 2, and here's the snap, and the final seconds will tick away on me. Again, 28-7 here, Bengals over the Raiders.
Yeah, and just an impressive win by Cincinnati. Once again, their defense on everything here today. So, again, I cannot praise Cincinnati enough. What a performance by them today.
Incredible indeed, and the Raiders left scratching their heads, and the fans who showed up so excitedly are going to leave a little bit quiet on the way home. And for Cincinnati, it will be a celebration on the bus and on the plane back to the great state of Ohio. Here we are in the AFA post-game show. Cameron and Omni, as we look at the final stats, and boy, once more, that time of possession and the total yards for Cincinnati just proved to be too much.
Yeah, and look at that. Passing yards, Cincinnati won. Rushing yards, Cincinnati won. And defensively, I mean, and the amount of hands tipped, we're not even talking interceptions, pass breakup, hand pick, play recognitions by the Bengals defense. Just an amazing defensive performance to keep one of the more stellar offenses in Las Vegas away.
Arnold Simpson, 172 yards and a touchdown. Santiago Jaquez with 2 touchdowns on the day. I mean, the player of the game certainly going to be decided between the two of them. Emmett Ellis with a touchdown. Only 1 sack on the day, which is kind of surprising. The offensive line certainly did their job today. And like we said, the only negative in the Bengals' day probably was the special teams unit. As we go to the player of the game, and it is Santiago Jaquez for what was an amazing game. And big congratulations to Santiago. As we said, huge offensive production out of him and the Bengals today. And that's going to do it for us today. Have a good rest of your evening. For my partner Omni, I'm Cameron Duty. Thanks to everybody at the AFA. We'll see you for the next game. Have a good one, folks.
Thank you.